Morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. I'm here in Woodglen Vista Park here in Santee, in my neighborhood, just a couple minutes drive out of my house. So, just here checking out the trees. I've never been to this park before. Just trying to see what's good over here. Lots of neat looking trees here, of course. So I'm just trying to get a feel for this area. Planning on hiking up in the hills over there in a little bit, but figured I'd stretch my legs and warm up over here. See what kind of trees we got growing around here. Of course, California native staple, coast live oak, Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia. Of course, nothing to be surprised about there. Very commonly planted native tree here. And we've got some more native flavor here too. Let's see what we got here. Some of our native willows. This is a big willow tree. Yeah, this is a red willow right here, Salix laevigata. This is a nice sized tree. A couple other red willows around here as well. It's pretty neat. Yep, usually you don't see them quite this large over here. Pretty nice sized tree. Of course, the ornamental Aleppo pines, very omnipresent. Planted like crazy out here in SoCal. Here's something interesting. This is a type of deciduous oak. Oh, this is a tree I've never seen before. Canby oak. Try to focus in on there a little bit. Quercus canby. I forget where these are native to. I've heard of this tree before. I've never seen one of these. This is canby oak. Quercus canby, C-A-N-B-Y-I. I think this might be a Mexico native, but I'm not sure. I think it's a red oak too. I think it's a red oak. Looks like a red oak. Wow. Okay. Well, this is already off to a pretty interesting start. We got California Sycamore over here, shedding its leaves. London plane. Some London plane trees here. Platanus hispanica. Nice cool morning out here. It's probably in the mid 30s right now. Not too bad. Oh yeah. Arizona ash. Fraxinus velutina. Dropping its last leaves for the year. Here's another one right here. I did a spotlight on these back in the Santa Ana Mountains in Riverside County. And I shot a video of these over by Jackson Lake in the San Gabriels when they're full decked out in fall color. And very nice, very nicely sized ornamental trees here. Now, over here, got some very large tipuana trees. Tipuana tipu. These are very big ones. These are some of the larger ones I've ever seen up close. I mean, they plant these all the time here in Southern California. These are native to South America. These are big. These are some of the largest terebinthifolius trees I've ever seen. Amazing. Absolutely amazing how big these are. Wow. These are some very large trees. Wow. These are the largest ones I've seen up close. We've got a lot of neat stuff here. So yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen a canopy oak. I'll have to do a little more research on where it's from. I've heard of it before, but never seen it until now. So it's pretty amazing to see. So yeah, here are those terebinthifolius trees. Those are amazing. They're very girthy too. There's a trunk on one of them right here. It's a pretty decent sized tree. Look at the trunk on this tree. Amazing. Wow. These are quite exquisite specimens here. And of course, here's some trees that you see all the time here in Southern California, planted from Asia. These are Chinese flame trees here, Colereteria bipinata. And these are the 3-chambered papery seed capsules. And these are very late deciduous trees. These ones don't shed their leaves usually until very late in the year. So right now they're mostly still green. So they're very tardily deciduous. They shed their leaves very late, more towards winter actually than fall. These are known for their bipinnately compound leaves. So this is all one leaf that I'm touching here. So they're divided twice. That's what bipinnate means. There's some more right here. Nice specimens too. There's another species of Colereteria. So this Colereteria bipinata, the Chinese flame tree. Now here's another species of Colereteria, very similar, but they shed their leaves much earlier. This one's already leafless. This is Colereteria paniculata, the golden rain tree. Just like bipinata, they have papery seed capsules, and inside the papery seed capsules are black, rounded black seeds, or spherical black seeds. See, these ones shed their leaves much earlier in fall and leaf out a little bit later in the spring months. But yeah, this is Colereteria paniculata, the golden rain tree. Sometimes fairly commonly planted. So yeah, you can usually tell what you're looking at without actually having gone up to the tree, depending on how early the leaves drop off. So this one's leafless. It just has a bunch of seed capsules in the tree. This is a Colereteria paniculata, golden rain tree, another Asian native tree. And these ones turn nice yellow in fall too, so these do get a little bit of fall color. Very beautiful tree. But usually they're once divided instead of twice divided, so they're pinnate instead of bipinnate. I can't show you. That looks like my video got cut off, so I guess I'll have to do another clip. So, right in the middle of talking about all this interesting stuff, my video gets cut off. I don't know what's going on here. Wow. So yeah, don't tell me this is Angophora, is this? This park has so many surprises. I am just literally on cloud 9 with the amazing amount of botanical diversity in this park. All these trees they plant here, this is just insane. I'm really having a field day. I don't even know if I'm going to get up to that hill over there. So, it's been a long time since I've seen one of these trees. But these right here are Sydney red gums. These are Angophora costatas. First time I've seen one since moving back to San Diego County. This is Sydney red gum, aka smooth bark apple. A lot of gum trees or eucalypt relatives are called apples, especially in the Angophora genus. So it looks like a eucalyptus and is closely related to eucalyptus, but this is in the genus Angophora. So now I was walking around the park and I noticed that my camera shut off in the middle of yapping about certain trees. Looks like I'm gonna have to go back and review this a little bit because I keep finding more stuff every turn I take in this park, I keep finding other interesting things. So, yeah, this is Angophora costata right here. I had a suspicion that's what this was going to be when I saw the oppositely arranged leaves on the trees. But yeah, this is Angophora costata. It's a close relative of the eucalyptus. Unreal. This is the first time I've ever seen juvenile trees planted. Absolutely amazing. I am just completely in shock and awe. And I keep finding some other stuff of interest too. So we've got some kind of an oak right here. Some type of a white oak. And this is called Lacey oak. This is another North American native. Quercus laceyi. It's a white oak. I have a couple of these planted here too. So I'm thinking to myself, what the heck is going on here? They're planting a lot of different trees. Lots of different trees that I've never seen before. I'd heard of them, but not being from other parts of the United States, I never got to experience them. So that begs the question, what else am I going to find hiking through this little park? Because every time I turn around, there's something else interesting. And yeah, Angophora costata, Sydney red gum. Oh, it's been years since I've seen one of those. All right, there's Shamel ash. What do we got here? This is different. This is something I've never seen before. Since this is my first time seeing a lot of these trees, I kind of need to see what they are. Yeah, this one's got me licked. This doesn't have an ID tag. Here's a melaleuca. What kind of melaleuca is this? Oh, this is what a juvenile Melaleuca lineariifolia looks like. So this is flaxleaf paperbark. When they get older, these trees kind of have a round, short rounded crown. Short statured trees. Now over here, some more eucalyptus. Very interesting park. And this is a 6 minute drive from my house. Is this Cinerea? Yep, Eucalyptus cinerea. Yeah, I was right about this one. One of the silver dollar type gums. This is what their juvenile leaves look like. And this tree's got all juvenile leaves. They're all up. They're all clasped along the stem. I was right. That was Eucalyptus cinerea. Here's another one of these. I still have no clue what the heck that is. But it looks like we got another Arizona native tree coming up here. Silverleaf oak. There are a couple of them planted here. This is Quercus hypoleucoides. This is native to the mountains of Arizona. If I were going where I plan to go, near the Mount Lemmon area, the lower mid elevations, I probably would have seen this tree. And there probably would have been a spotlight video about it, but yeah, hypoleucoides means literally in Greek, whitish underneath, and it's called silverleaf oak. So this is a tree in the mid-elevation mountains of Arizona. So hypo, under, leucoides, whitish, so whitish underneath in Greek. Yeah, this park is pretty bomb. Huh, that was pretty cool. I'm liking this park. What do we got here? Oh, another hypoleucoides, right? Oh, wait. Is this an arroyo oak? No, this is another silverleaf oak. So I've seen a couple of other trees native to Arizona in the area. So let's see what else I can find. Very, very interested in this park right now. Ooh, looks like a southern live oak. Wow. This is like Quercus virginiana, variety virginiana. This is southern live oak right here. I can kind of tell. I've seen these planted before. Pretty neat. There's a beautiful red willow there. Alright, let's see what other interesting... This feels like a tour of the United States tree list. Yeah, here's another southern live oak. Wow, pretty cool. I am your new tree. So, seems like we've got a tour of the southwest and the southeast here. Here's another Virginiana. I'm assuming these are variety Virginiana. They are divided into varieties. Okay, so looks like I need to go back to this side over here because there was some stuff around here that I saw. I was filming, but then, or thought I was filming, and then the camera cut out at about 8 minutes. So that's why I'm adding. So I'm starting this part over here. Let's see what else we got. A lot of dew on the grass. Dew and light frost. My feet are getting a little damp. This little guy. I think this is a Lacey oak. Because there was one over here that was identified. Oh boy. Feet are getting damp from this. Oh boy. Well, here's an oak native to Arizona again. This is Quercus rugosa, netleaf oak. This is another tree I might have seen if I'd done my Arizona adventure like I had planned back in October. So yeah, it seems like this camera cuts out every 8 minutes, so I have to be very careful. That's why you're going to see a lot of clips lumped into one video. Beautiful tree though. This is Quercus rugosa, netleaf oak. Another Arizona native. So keep finding interesting things here in this park. It's kind of amazing. Now this is the Lacey oak actually. That other one was a different one. The Lacey oak is more of a white oak. You see the rounded lobes. This is Quercus laceyi right here. A little bit of fall color on it. Pretty neat. So there's a lot of different stuff here. And of course they got more coast live oaks planted here. These are our natives here. We got something down here that's definitely worth a look for the amateur botanist in ya. Chisos red oak or Graves oak. This one's native to I think the Big Bend region of Texas. This is Quercus gravesii. This is a type of red oak. You can tell there's a nice fall color on it too. Like, what else am I going to find here? This is absolutely amazing. I never thought I'd ever find these planted here in SoCal. I always wanted to see one of these Graves oaks. That's another type of red oak again. So it's related to our California black oaks in our mountains here. But this is from the mountains of Texas right here. Graves oak or Chisos red oak. Okay, all right, well. I'm surprised it just keep coming. I was supposed to be climbing up to one of these peaks over here. But I just keep getting stuck here. Here's another Quercus gravesii. The leaves are already colored and browned up. So yeah, this is another Graves oak right here, a Chisos red oak. There's some other oaks over this way too. Let's see if I can find where I saw them. This is absolutely amazing. So I'll go ahead and hunt around for them and I'll check in when I find them. Alright, here's Quercus canby oak. This is the other one. I'd be very interested to see how large these trees get out here. Wow. Boy, this park's got a lot of interesting stuff in it. This is like a botanist's dream come true, especially for southwestern botany. All right, wow, that's amazing. Well, and of course, we got sweet gums. Liquid ambar stericiflua. A little late to color this year. Very interesting. Well, I think that'll do it for this video. I'll leave it a parting shot. Some fall color over here. Very nice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Wow. Nice size lemon scented gum. This is Corymbia citriodora, formerly known as Eucalyptus citriodora. So I'm deciding to add a little bit onto the video, so I guess I was lying when I said goodbye. My plans to hike up this nearby peak over this way were kind of nixed because I saw a private ecological reserve boundary sign as I was heading towards the trail to go up there, and of course another random peak denied to Brian. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed right now, to be honest with you. I'm getting ready to climb up that peak. Getting excited too. Let's see the trees you see a lot here. Magnolia grandiflora, southern magnolia. So I guess maybe I'll just shoot another couple videos around here. Folia europaea, the olive. So this is the name of the park, Woodglen Vista Park. Seems to be a pretty cool spot to come check out the trees. I mean, typical, on the surface, it's your typical park where you bring the kids or bring yourself and just kick back and relax. But when you get down to it, if you're more into the tree scene like I am, this park is also really cool in that respect because there are lots of great trees here. So yeah, I was already over here earlier. I'll walk along this way, see if there's anything else to point out. I've already pointed out quite a few trees from different regions of the U.S. It's quite interesting, actually. Like, what else we're gonna find? Yeah, sure plant a lot of trees around here. Like different types of trees, not just the type you normally see. Let's see. Yeah, I had to do another clip. Those lemon scented gums on Woodglen Vista Road. Those are some nice sized lemon scented gums. Those are a dime a dozen here in SoCal. Yeah. But they can get very nice and majestic. I forget the name of these. I think these are Bignonia in the Bignoniaceae. I think this might be Tacoma stans. I'll have to double check. But interesting how the leaves are whorled around the stem. You can see how they're kind of whorled in threes. Pinnately compound, so This whole thing is a leaf in my hand here. Some of them are oppositely arranged, and some of them are whorled. I think this is, again, I think this is Tecoma stans, and this would be a Bignoniaceae plant, the Bignonia family, with these type of hollowed out seed capsules that look like legumes. They look like seed pods. Yet another ornamental piece of awesome. So you can grow trees that look very tropical like these, and then you can grow trees that are very temperate and show fall color. So the Southern California landscape, you can grow anything from palms to birches, from tropical broadleafs to maples, and birches, oaks. So let's go over to some of these tall sycamores over here. Oh, these are beautiful California sycamores here. Not like they're usually seen in the wild. Very tall and narrow. Very tall and narrow. And one thing, our landscape is never boring. Seldom boring. That's a nice tall sycamore tree. And that's Platanus, our native Platanus racemosa. It's one of at least 3 Platanus species planted here in Southern California, at least. Well, one of them is actually a hybrid, horticultural hybrid. But this is our native sycamore. This is just a really tall, narrow crown specimen. Not like the typical lower statured, sprawled out type that you normally see when you're hiking in the canyons. These ones are tall and narrow, especially this one here. Kind of neat to see. Here's a tree that you see all the time. This is called tuckaroo or carrotwood. This is Cupaniopsis anacardioides. There's a more mature one right there. And you get these seed capsules in spring that before they open, they look like garbanzo beans. And then they open. So yes, maybe I'll keep poking around this park for a little while more and shoot more video. There's a lot of cool stuff to see here. And of course, again, I have no clue what the heck this is. I gotta look it up, I guess. I've never seen this before. But of course, we've got the tree that we see in just about all of our parks, Pinus canariensis, the Canary Island pine, which is actually in the same group of pines as is the Aleppo pines, Pinus halepensis. And the Italian stone pines are all closely related in the same group of the pine family. Sometimes in these parks they can get pretty big. These ones are more moderate sized specimens here. But that's a pretty cool little park. Definitely highly recommend coming here, checking out the trees. You know, have a picnic or whatever. If you have kids, bring the kids to enjoy it. But if you're also like me, botanically interested, then you can't go wrong with the trees here. Okay, so I did go along here earlier, but I guess there's a little creek that sometimes runs through here. Actually has a little water in it right now. So during the rainy season, must have some water running through here. There's actually a little bit here right now. It's pretty cool to see. And then we got Gooding's black willow over here, native Salix goodingi. They're usually a lot of times they're pretty late to shed their leaves. So I was talking about the California sycamores you see over here. Well, here's another type of Platanus. So that's Platanus racemosa, California sycamore. This is the London plane tree here. This is one of at least 3 Platanus plants. This is Platanus hispanica, or Platanus acerifolia, as a lot of people still call it. This is the London plane tree. Kind of similar, but the leaves are not as fuzzy underneath. So yeah, this is Platanus hispanica. And of course, one tree that readily naturalizes here in Southern California. It's been planted for an ornamental for decades, but it does naturalize quite readily here. And it's this tree here, the Shamel ash, Fraxinus uhdei. This tree has some of the most interesting habits. Some shed their leaves for a couple weeks in late fall, early winter. Some don't shed any leaves at all. Some of them shed them for about a month. Some of them shed half of their leaves. So they're partially, briefly deciduous to mostly evergreen. So it's called Shamel ash. And it's an ash. It's native to, I believe, Central America, I think. And these things naturalize here like crazy. You'll find them naturalizing in our canyons, our coastal canyons here in San Diego County. And they can get quite large. Now here's a deciduous conifer over here. I suspect we have a Taxodium disticum right there. It looks like a bald cypress from here. What I want to do is see if I can get up to it or something, find my way to get over there. Be kind of neat to see. See if I can. I don't know if I can get over there from here. I think there's a chain link fence on the other side. I think I might have to walk around. Let me see if I can. If I can do this. Should be able to get at least close enough to see it. Yeah, it's definitely a bald cypress. I can smell the redwood smell. This is it right here. This is Taxodium disticum, bald cypress. So this one's already leafless for winter. This is one of the very few deciduous conifers you'll ever see planted here in Southern California. If not, maybe, I think Metasequoia glyptostroboides might be planted here occasionally as well, but as a dawn redwood. But this is Taxodium disticum, the bald cypress. And in fall they turn a nice burnt orange, burnt orangish color in the fall. So the fall color is pretty nice on these trees, and they do change color here in Southern California too. So yeah, nice little bald cypress. Bald cypress or pond cypress. There's another type of Taxodium, Taxodium mucronatum. That's the Montezuma bald cypress. That one tends to retain most of its leaves. It'll do some leaf drop, mostly towards spring, maybe a little bit during the fall and winter. And that's the Montezuma bald cypress. I've seen that planted in SoCal too. But yeah, it's really cool. We've got a deciduous conifer here. And this is, again, a member of the cypress family, the Cupressaceae. So this is a pretty cool looking tree. Nice winter deciduous conifer. You don't see those very often here in SoCal. Let's see if I see any cones on the ground. I don't see any cones over here. They're kind of rounded, globular, like a cypress cone. I don't seem to be having any luck. It smells good right now. It has that cypress family smell that is so fragrant. And it is a fairly close relative of redwoods and giant sequoias, being in the Cupressaceae. And the Taxodium genus, along with the redwoods, sequoia and sequoiadendron, used to be listed all together in the Taxodiaceae. So these used to be all in one family, but then they were merged with the cypress family. Maybe I'll go around the other side. I think this is a dog park here, so I think I'm gonna go around the other side, see if I get a little bit closer to the tree. So I'll see you when I'm over there. All right, so I'm on my way over to that bald cypress tree. You can kind of see it over there. So on the way there, figured I'd botanize along the way too. Here's a very commonly planted Southern California tree. Not native, it's an Australian native. And it's in the citrus family, the Rutaceae. It's called Australian willow or wilga. This is Gageria parviflora. Get little tiny yellowish, greenish flowers in the spring. And these little seed capsules that burst open. So that's yet another species of tree found here in this awesome little park. So let's see here. I'm just gonna go head over to that tree here. And looks like there's gonna be some more botany along the way. So come along for the ride, because this is an interesting one. It looks like another, what do we got here? Is this another rugosa? No, this is a California native. This is Quercus tomentella. This is one of her closest relatives to canyon live oak. It's in the golden oak group. This is actually native to the Channel Islands. Looks like the interesting botany just keeps coming. Every time I turn around, there's something else. So yeah, this is Quercus tomentella, island live oak. Native to the Channel Islands. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's in the golden oak group, the Platanus. So it's related closely to canyon live oak, and it's closely related to Cedros Island oak, and also closely related to Palmer oak. Another one of these deciduous oaks. Man, what a cool little spot. All right, let's go find the entrance to this little spot here. And of course, on the other side, river red gum, Eucalyptus comodulensis. And more Shamel ash. See, these ones are partially deciduous. You can see some of the twigs already starting to flower. Those little knots on the twigs are the blossoms. And they start opening up almost as soon as the leaves drop sometimes. Here's another one here. Grevillea robusta. And this is Arizona ash. So what do we got here now? Wow. So much interest here. More Canary Island pines. So yeah, this tree is called silk oak. Grevillea robusta. Here's another Quercus gravesii, Chisos red oak or graves oak. Here's an interesting conifer. You'll see very often planted here. Looks like I might have to find my way to get in there. It might be locked off. I think it's just a dog park, so let's see what the issue is. Right here, Araucaria columnaris, called the Cook Island pine. Now it's a conifer, but it's not a pine. It's in the Araucariaceae. So it's related to the Norfolk Island pine you see sold as Christmas trees. And those Norfolk Island pines get huge. Get well over 100 feet tall here in Southern California. Alright. Here's another Colereteria bipinata Chinese flame tree. And here is the Chinese elm, Ulmus parvifolia. They could either be mostly evergreen, partially winter deciduous, like this one seems to be partially winter deciduous, there's a little fall color on it, or they could be fully deciduous. Depends on the tree, I guess. But some of these will just turn pale yellow and drop off in fall. But sometimes you will get like a reddish fall color on them, which I usually don't really see with a lot of elm trees. So this is almost part of a foliage with a little bit of a purplish red fall color. Sometimes it can be quite showy. Alright, well, looks like I'm going to have to work my way back around. Some more Shamel, actually. See, I told you, they naturalize like crazy out here. And there's, of course, Pinus canariensis. Alright. Oh, Moraine bay fig right here. Ficus macrophylla. Moraine bay fig. So I told you, we're looking at temperate oaks, subtropical and tropical trees, and winter deciduous conifers. So, pretty interesting. Let's see if I can find my way to get to that tree. All right. So I'm here by the bald cypress tree. Look at this. You can see very cypress-like cones. Have you seen me shoot video like when I'm looking at Arizona cypress and stuff like that? You'll see their globular cones. So this is, again, Taxodium disticum. Let's see if this has any seeds in it. Looks like this cone's got a few seeds in it, I think. Interesting. Yeah, Taxodium disticum. If I remember correctly, this is divided into varieties and subspecies, I think. But yeah, there's the foliage. It's weird. It's the individual needles don't fall off. It's sprays of needles. You see here. I'm going to pull this little thing off here. One thing about a lot of our deciduous conifers, especially in the deciduous cypresses, is this is a whole spray. This is actually a spray of individual needles. So it's not just the leaves that fall off, it's the individual sprays. So when the twigs open up, so they kind of look like compound leaves. They kind of look like compound needles when you look at them. As you can see, they get kind of a brownish rusty orange color in the fall. Usually a little bit more vibrant earlier on in the season, obviously. But here's your nice stringy. This is your typical Cupressaceae bark right here too. So yeah, these are related to our coast redwoods in central and northern California, and also related to our giant sequoias in the Sierra Nevada. Yeah, what a beautiful tree this one is. I had to spend some extra time just admiring this one. And again, you can see all the little cypress cones on the branches, indicating that yes, indeed, we're looking at a true conifer here. This is a beautiful tree right here. This is a really nice looking one. I don't see them very often planted here, but every now and then you'll get lucky and see them. I remember I've had a few as a kid. I had bought well, actually, no. I was in the Arbor Day Foundation as a kid, like in my teen years, in junior high and high school, when I was living in Orange County. And they sent me some bald cypress seedlings, or maybe about a foot tall. I had them for a few years. Eventually, they passed away. I didn't get them planted like I should have. But yeah, I've had bald cypress seedlings before. Not that I germinated them. I haven't done that yet. That would be fun. Beautiful conifer. Absolutely cool. It'll be nice and green come springtime, so don't worry about that too much. It'll be nice and green. And it looks like we got some kind of invasive nightshade. I think this is Solanum elagnifolium, I believe. Or is this Solanum rostratum? I'm not sure. This might be Solanum rostratum. I have to look it up. But very toxic. You can see the yellow berries. This plant is related to the tomatoes, potatoes, and of course the deadly nightshade. So this is not something you want to nibble on. Very toxic plants. Ooh, I must have touched the sap on the bald cypress tree. because I felt something sticky on my camera as I took a whiff. Ooh, it's very resinous and sweet smelling. So yeah, there you go. Taxodium disticum. I'm going to assume it's probably variety or subspecies disticum, but really don't have much experience telling those apart. So you're going to find these a lot in the southeastern United States, from the mid-Atlantic coast down to the deep south into Florida and stuff like that. But I've seen them planted in New Jersey, in northern New Jersey. When I went to Montclair State University, they have some planted on Montclair State's campus, and that's in northern New Jersey. So they are quite hardy trees. They can tolerate some cold, obviously. So occasionally you'll find them planted in pretty cold winter places. So they're quite hardy trees, and they deal with our climate pretty well too. So there you have it. And of course, Brazilian Peppertree, Schinus terebinthifolius. And we got some more Chinese elms over here. Ooh, what's this here, first of all? Oh, this is a smaller elm. This Chinese elm right here. See, this one might stay more green through the winter. These are the seeds right here. See, a lot of elms will fruit in the spring immediately after flowering, and a lot of times even before they leaf out. Most elms will fruit in the early spring, right after the blooms come through. But there are a few species of elms that will flower and fruit in the fall, and this is one of them. Chinese elm fruits in the fall. These are the samaras, or the winged seeds. These little red pieces here. So these are what become the seeds when they ripen. So they fall off during the autumn, as opposed to spring months like most other elms. There's a species of elm, at least one species of elm here in the U.S. in the eastern half called September elm, Ulmus serratina, that also does this too, where they'll flower in late summer, early fall, and their seeds will ripen during the fall months. So it's kind of interesting to see. Yeah, our elms are quite a bit different here. This one looks like it. This one still has. These are still the flowers. This one hasn't come to seed yet. Interesting. There's a lot to see in this park. That's why I'm just making a long video out of this and just touring the park out of interest. Interesting. What do we have here? I wonder if this is a box elder or something. This is different. Interesting. Yeah. This might be a box elder. This might be a box elder maple. Alright. Let's see what else I find. Alright, so on my way heading over towards the eucalyptus trees over there. Some pretty big ones. Pretty nice size eucalyptus comodulensis. I'm gonna go head over there. But of course, en route to that spot, some more landscape trees found here in San Diego County and in Southern California for that matter. Some of them very common as well. Okay, well, and we have a tree that's become pretty commonly planted over the years, more recent decades, and this is Gleditsia triacanthos forma inermis. So this is honey locust, member of the pea family Fabaceae, and I guess these large seed pods. This one has a few of them. You can kind of see them, some of the stuff hanging in the tree. They got some pretty large, leathery seed pods that are supposed to be actually edible. There we go. There's a legume right on the ground. So when I said forma inermis, this is the horticultural variety, Forma inermis, that's planted to for safety purposes, because the regular version has pronged spines that stick out of the trunk and branches. That's where Forma inermis comes from. Alright. So now we're coming up on the eucalyptus grove. Eucalyptus comodulensis. It's one of the most commonly planted eucalyptus species. Earlier you got to see Corymbia, so you got to see three of the major eucalypt genera. Eucalyptus, Corymbia, and Angophora. So right now we're looking at eucalyptus now. Eucalyptus comodulensis. Ooh, nice view of San Miguel Mountain. Right there, beautiful San Miguel Mountain. Another tantalizingly off-limits mountain peak here in San Diego County that I've wanted to hike, but can't because it's illegal. Yeah, we get some nice comodulensis here. Pretty nice specimens. It smells very nice over here. Some of these are some pretty decent sized trees. Some of these trees are maybe a little over 100 feet tall. Great place. So, yeah, great place to see this tree in huge numbers is in Terrasana. It's East Shepherd Canyon. Get some very large specimens of this eucalyptus tree, Eucalyptus comodulensis. You get some great specimens there. Some very large ones there, and some large Eucalyptus cladicalix too. So we got this very narrow Canary Island pine right here. This little guy right here, kind of stuck growing between these eucalyptus trees. And it's pretty nice Grevillea robusta called silk oak, native to Australia, of course. No surprise there. And here's a nice pittosporum again. Another Aussie native. This looks like Pittosporum undulatum, I believe. It's another Aussie native. It's in the Pittosporaceae. Very nice tree. A lot of times they're multi-trunked. Pretty nice. Yeah, I can't believe I ran out of memory. Guess I shot more video than I thought. Oh, here's a nice Canary Island pine. Kind of crooked at the bottom. It's for some nice character. So what's this little spot here? This looks interesting. Ooh, it's like a little native interpretive spot. Let's see. Oak grass. Casalia. What's this? Fermentodendron. We used to have a Fermonti. Of course, we got Coulter's Montiliha poppy. This is Rhamnia coulteri. Little seed capsule there. I've seen a couple stands of its relative, Rhamnia trichocalix. I've seen that growing here. This is some type of Artemisia, some type of wormwood. It's not a native. And of course, here's a toyon. Very much a native. But yeah, Coulter's Montiliha poppy, Rhamnia coulteri. It's not very commonly found, at least in my experience here. Especially in San Diego County. It's usually Rhamnia trichocalix that you're going to find. yeah, toyon. Yeah, this is our abundant native right here. Very abundantly found here. Ooh, that's got a very juicy pome right there. That's a nice sized pome. Yeah, very juicy pome. And of course, very extremely common landscape tree here in the dry southwest, Morus alba, the white mulberry. Usually here it's very late deciduous. Some very interesting cultivated plants here too. Got different types of sages. Oh yeah, these guys. Wow, this is a little different. This is some type of daisy plant. I'm not too familiar with this one. Not too familiar with this one. Tagetes? I'll have to do a little research on that one. Pretty cool. Ooh, it's got a very, very strong aroma. Oh, here's a very much native. This is a Cleveland sage. Ooh, this plant's got a very strong, extremely pungent odor. It's not the best smelling, but it's definitely different. However, this one is one of the best smelling plants. I've hiked McGinty Mountain. You might have seen my video clips for that. Did a little photo album I did when I hiked up McGinty Mountain back in 2015. They were in full bloom and they were fragrant. The whole place was lit up with fragrance. So yeah, this plant is extremely pungent. Ooh, I think this is a type of Ceanothus thursiflorus. This is probably one of those cultivated Ceanothus. I think this is a cultivar of Ceanothus thursiflorus, the blue blossom. It's already blooming. This is not native to Southern California. You gotta go up to Central California and up further for that. But yeah, I think this is a cultivar Ceanothus thursiflorus. Camera doesn't do it justice. And then here's a non-native plant called lantana. It's a woody-based shrub that you find planted a lot here. And here's a type of agave, again not native, but commonly landscaped here. And this is Foxtail Agave, Agave attenuata. Very commonly landscaped here. So, yeah, it's quite interesting here. And here's some more Fraxinus velutina, Arizona ash. I'm going to suspect this is probably Modesto, or cultivar Modesto. And here's some sweet gum trees that are kind of late to color. A little fall color on them. But a lot of times these will be a lot more brilliant than this. So a little bit of fall color. I think this is about going to do it for my video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my presentation of the trees here at the park. And hope to see you on a video very soon. Let's part off with a huge Tipuana tree. Again, like in the first clips of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.